question number 9 through 12. So question number 9 through 12 wants us to solve a quadratic and a linear system. Alright? So when we're saying that we have a quadratic and a linear system, okay, that means that one of your equations is going to have an x squared, it's going to be a quadratic, okay? One of them is going to be a linear, so it looks like y equal mx plus b. Alright? So this is what you're going to do to find the solution. We're going to use a method called substitution. Alright? So again, we're going to use the method called substitution. Why am I using the method called substitution? Well, because it says y is equal to here, and then it also says y is equal to here, I can replace the y with each of these equations. So all of this equation right here, I'm going to replace for the y down here. Okay? So instead of writing y equal to all of this, I'm going to say x squared minus 8x plus 17 is equal to all of this at the bottom, negative 2x plus 9. Alright? And that is how you use the method called substitution. Now we're going to try to move everything to the same side. Okay? So to move everything to the same side, I would first need to add 2x to both sides. Am I going to add it to x squared? No. Negative 8x? Yes. Alright, because that's the like term. Right? And then how do I move a negative 9 to the other side? By subtracting 9. Am I going to subtract it from x squared? No. Negative 8x? No. 17? Yes, because that's a like term. This gets cancelled. Alright? The x squared that's right here, I'm going to bring it down. I am adding 2x to negative 8x. Negative 8x plus 2x, negative 6x. Alright? 17 minus 9 is 8. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead and put into factored form, which is 2 pairs of parentheses. Alright? I put my x and my x. Now find all the numbers. That gives me 8, which is 1 and 8, and 2 and 4. Which pair do you think will add and subtract to give me 6? 2 and 4. When I see a positive, I don't think about different, I think about same. So it'll be either 2 positives or 2 negatives. Alright? If it was 2 positives, alright, our answer would be positive 6. But we need a negative 6. Okay? So we don't need 2 positives, we need 2 negatives. Because that's how I would get negative 6. So I need 2 negatives. Okay? And then I would need to find my 2 values of x by flipping the answers. Alright? So x, and again now, right here, you flip the signs. Alright? So this will now become a positive 4. And then this will now become a positive 2. And those are the 2 x values of your solutions. Alright? So now I need to find the y values that go with them. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to plug these numbers into any of the 2 equations. I'm going to plug it into the shorter equation because more than likely that's going to be easier to calculate. Okay? So I would say y is equal to negative 2. Instead of x, I'm going to replace the x with a 4. Alright? And then add 9 to it. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Then add 9. Negative 8 plus 9 is 1. So the 1 goes with the 4. So again, that's your first solution. Now let's find the next one. So I will rewrite the same equation. But this time I'm replacing x with not 4 because I'm already done with the 4. I'm going to replace x with 2. Alright? So negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. And negative 4 plus 9 is 5. Alright? So when the x was 2, the y was 5. Alright? And those are our 2 answers. Okay? So let's try to do the next one. Okay, so again, what method are we going to use to try to do this? Substitution. Alright, and why am I using substitution? Because both of them say y is equal to. So I'm going to replace all of this equation with the y. Alright, or set them equal to each other. So I would have x squared minus 11x plus 31 is equal to everything down here, which is x minus 1. Now I'll move everything to the same side. Alright, so I will subtract x. Am I going to subtract from x squared? No. Negative 11x? No. Or rather, yes. Alright, so this gets cancelled. Okay, so now I'll move a negative 1 to the other side. How do I move a negative 1 to the other side? By adding 1. Am I going to add it to x squared? No. Negative 11x? No. 31? Yes. Alright, so now the x squared, I did not add or subtract anything to it, so I bring it down. I am subtracting from my 11x, I'm subtracting 1. So negative 11x minus 1 is negative 12x. I am adding something to my constant, so 31 plus 1 is 32. Alright, now I'm going to write factored form, which is 2 pairs of parentheses, for my x and my x. All the numbers that multiply give me 32, or 1 and 32. 2 and 16, 3 does not work, 4 and 8, alright, and I think those are all the pairs, alright. So what we're going to do now is figure out which pair would add and subtract to give me 12, alright, that would be the 4 and the 8, okay. So I need to remember that this positive sign means same signs. So it'll either be 2 positives or 2 negatives. Alright? If I had 2 positives, the 4 and the 8, that would give me positive 12. But I need negative 12. So I would need 2 negatives, because negative 4 minus 8 is negative 12. So I need a negative 4 and negative 8. Now I'm going to what? Flip them so I can get my 2 values of x, which are positive 4 and positive 8. So your x is positive 4, positive 8, because your coordinates are always x and then y. X and then y. Alright, so I need to find the y that goes with it. I can plug it into either of my 2 equations, but I'm going to plug it into the shorter one just to make it easier for me. Alright, so I'll have y equal, I'm going to replace x with a parentheses, and what do you think will go in there? The 4. So I'm going to plug in the 4, then the minus 1. So technically in front of this parentheses is a positive 1, but positive 1 times 4 stays as a 4, and 4 take away 1 is 3. So when x was 4, the y was 3. Alright, and I'm just going to check it off, just so that I know that I've already done it, so I don't do it again. So now I'm going to plug in the 8 into the same equation, so I'll have y equal parentheses minus 1, and inside I'm plugging 8. In front of the parentheses is a positive 1, but positive 1 times 8 stays as an 8. And 8 take away 1 is 7. So when the x was 8, the y was 7. Alright, and now I'm done. Alright, so again guys, you have to put the 2 solutions for those answers. Okay?